You've probably heard of the 798 Art Zone in Beijing, right? It's this super trendy spot filled with galleries, cool cafes, and incredible street art. But have you ever wondered how a massive, old factory complex turned into China's most famous art district? The story is way more interesting than you might think. It's a tale of Cold War history, East German engineering, and a lucky accident that created an artistic paradise. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's travel back in time to uncover the secret history of 798. Our story starts in the 1950s, a time of major change in China. The country was in the middle of its first 5-year plan, and the goal was to build a strong industrial foundation. Think big factories, heavy machinery, the whole 9 yards. China needed help, and it found a partner in East Germany, a country known for its top-notch engineering. So a massive project was launched, the Joint Factory 718. This wasn't just one factory. It was a huge complex designed to produce cutting-edge electronics for both civilian and military use. The East Germans didn't just send over blueprints. They sent their best architects and engineers to Beijing. They were tasked with designing a factory that was not only functional but also embodied the latest architectural ideas. The lead designer from the Dessau Design Institute was a student of the world-famous Bauhaus school. If you know anything about architecture, you know Bauhaus is a big deal. It's all about clean lines, functionality, and lots of natural light. So they designed these incredible factory buildings with sawtooth-shaped roofs. This wasn't just for looks. The angled skylights were designed to face north, letting in a ton of soft, indirect sunlight throughout the day. This was perfect for a factory floor, as it minimized shadows and created a consistent, well-lit environment for workers assembling delicate electronic components. They didn't know it then, but this design would be a game-changer for a totally different group of people decades later. The complex was officially named the 798 Factory after one of its sub-factories, and for the next few decades it was a bustling hub of industrial production. Fast forward to the late 1990s and early 2000s, China's economy was transforming again. State-owned enterprises were being restructured, and many old factories, including 798, started to wind down their operations. The once thriving workshops fell silent, and large parts of the massive complex were left empty. The place became a ghost town of cavernous halls and dusty machinery. For a while it seemed like this piece of industrial history might just be torn down and forgotten. But this is where the artists come in. At the same time, Beijing's art scene was exploding. A community of avant-garde artists had been gathering in a village near the old summer palace, but they were being pushed out by rising rents and urban development. They needed a new home, somewhere cheap, spacious, and with good light. They started looking around, and someone stumbled upon the abandoned 798 Factory. Imagine you're an artist looking for a studio. You walk into one of these old factory halls. The first thing you notice is the space. It's enormous. Ceilings are super high, perfect for large-scale sculptures and massive canvases. Then you look up and see those iconic sawtooth roofs. The light is incredible. It's soft, even, and floods the entire space. It's a painter's dream, and the best part? The rent was dirt cheap. The factory was desperate for tenants and offered leases at incredibly low prices. Word started to spread like wildfire through the artist community. It began with just a few pioneers. One of the first was Sui Jiangwo, a famous sculptor and a professor at the Central Academy of Fine Arts. He rented a huge workshop in 2000. Soon, his friends and colleagues followed. They moved in, cleaned out the old industrial grime, and set up their studios. The massive empty halls were perfect for their ambitious projects. They could weld, paint, and build without disturbing anyone. It wasn't just Chinese artists. The unique atmosphere and cheap rent attracted international artists and galleries too. A Japanese gallery, Tokyo Gallery, opened a branch there, becoming one of the first international galleries in 798. They saw the potential of this raw industrial space. The combination of gritty socialist-era architecture and cutting-edge contemporary art created a vibe that was completely unique. It was edgy, it was cool, and it felt authentic. For a few years, 798 was a hidden gem, a sort of underground paradise for artists. They worked, lived, and collaborated there, forming a tight-knit community. They'd have impromptu exhibitions, open studios, and late-night discussions about art and life. The industrial remnants became part of the art. Old propaganda slogans painted on the walls. like Chairman Mao is the red sun in our hearts, were preserved right next to modern art installations. The contrast was powerful and visually stunning. This juxtaposition of old and new, of socialist history and capitalist art markets, became the defining characteristic of 798. Of course, a place this cool couldn't stay a secret forever. By the mid-2000s, word got out. Art lovers, tourists, and the media started flocking to 798 to see what all the fuss was about. They were captivated by the energy of the place. You could wander through a world-class gallery showing the latest contemporary art, and then step outside and see a giant, rusting pipeline snaking its way across the compound. It was an experience you couldn't get anywhere else. This new attention brought both opportunities and challenges. On the one hand, the artists and galleries were getting incredible exposure. Their work was being seen by a global audience. But on the other hand, the inevitable happened: gentrification. The same thing that happened near the Summer Palace started happening here. As 798 became more popular, the property developers who owned the land saw dollar signs. Rents started to skyrocket. A huge debate began. Should 798 be preserved as an art district, or should it be torn down to make way for more profitable real estate developments? The artists, gallery owners, and cultural critics rallied together. They organized petitions, held press conferences, and lobbied the government. They argued that 798 was more than just a collection of buildings. It was a vital cultural landmark, a symbol of China's modern artistic identity. They pointed out its unique historical value, the Bauhaus architecture, and its role in fostering a generation of Chinese artists. Thankfully, their voices were heard. The Beijing government recognized the cultural and economic value of the art district. In 2006, 798 was officially designated as a protected creative industries cluster. The threat of demolition was gone. The district was saved. Today, 798 is a full-blown international tourist destination. It's packed with high-end galleries, trendy design shops, stylish cafes, and restaurants. On any given weekend, you'll see thousands of people strolling the streets, snapping photos of the street art and sculptures that dot the landscape. It hosts major events like the Beijing Design Week and has become a must-see spot for anyone visiting the city. But this success has come at a price. Many of the original artists who first settled here have been priced out. The cheap studios that drew them in are long gone, replaced by expensive commercial galleries. Some say the district has lost its raw, edgy soul and has become too commercialized. They miss the days when it was a quiet, gritty haven for creativity. And that's the ongoing debate about 798. Is it a victim of its own success? Or is this just the natural evolution of a creative space? It's a complicated question. But one thing is for sure, the story of 798 is a fascinating look at the intersection of history, architecture, art, and commerce in modern China. It's a story of how a Cold War-era factory, designed with German precision for industrial production, accidentally became the perfect incubator for artistic freedom. The very features that made it a great factory, the vast space and the incredible natural light from those Bauhaus-style roofs also made it the perfect artist studio. It's a beautiful, unplanned accident of history. So the next time you visit 798, or even just see pictures of it online, look beyond the trendy cafes and the Instagram-worthy graffiti. Look up at the sawtooth roofs and remember the East German engineers who designed them. Think about the artists who saw potential in the dust and decay and who fought to save this place. You're not just walking through an art district. You're walking through a living museum of modern Chinese history. It is a testament to the power of creativity to find a home in the most unlikely of places. What do you think? Have you been to 798? Do you think it has become too commercial, or is its evolution a good thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into art and history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. See you in the next one.